Hi, it's Ian from the Postal Hub podcast.
And Marek from Last Mile Experts.
And we are the Last Mile Prophets. This is the last word on the last mile. Marek, the other day you posted something a bit cheeky on LinkedIn about the length of parcel lockers. And so that's inspired the first episode of Last Mile Laughs. Marek, the provocative headline, how long is your locker? And my goodness, we had a huge number of response. But before we get into the Marek, I just want to highlight something. Australia Post, what are you doing? We have the big pineapple. We've got the big banana. We've got the giant koala, for goodness sake. But do we have a big parcel locker? No. So come on, Australia Post. We're the nation of the big things. We should be rocking this. Problem is, Marek, that all these big things that we've got in Australia, they're all out in the middle of nowhere. So Australia Post should put in a huge parcel locker bank in some town of 200 people in Western New South Wales. Anyway, Marek, why don't we go through some of the actual real entrants that we've had in this it's not sort of informal competition. There's no prize, just the glory of being the biggest.
I think though, Ian, it was really quite interesting. My personal view looking at this is it's a toss-up between the Chinese, the Finns and the Germans.
Yes.
Not quite sure who's got the longest one after all, but looking like the Germans actually when I saw the one at Frankfurt railway station.
Well, let's build up to that because it started off with something that you found in Poland. I know that Marek from Last Mile Experts also found another one in Poland. So you found one. What was the first one that you found?
First one, to be very fair, because I don't want to take credit for something that I didn't find. Gregor from Transinfo actually found that one.
Right.
And it's near where he lived. And maybe we can show a picture of it.
Yep.
But it is big. It is really big. It's fairly unfortunately placed bang in front of someone's house. And apparently the goss is that maybe as a result of our various promotions of the photo, apparently it's going to be moved.
We had one from Juan Sotolongo. We'll zoom over to China now. 600 plus doors in Shenzhen. This is a Hive Box one, of course, Marek. Any comments on that one?
Well, impressive. Large as you'd expect, but actually I have a feeling, I mean, we did put the Chinese in the race, but for the first time ever, I think they probably didn't really get this one, because if we look at the offerings from Finland and Germany, I get a feeling that the Chinese have been pipped at the post.
So let's have a look at Germany, because we had a message from Bernhard at Keepol Logistics, obviously very involved in lockers over there at Keepol, saying DHL pack station at Frankfurt main railway station. I suppose that'll be the Hauptbahnhof. There you go, a bit more German from me, Marek. And it is a big one.
Hauptbahnhof with a real Haupt parcel locker, because it's
yes.
Big, really big.
It is a big one, and Cesar from Kiva commented that all the modules could have been controlled by one control unit, but they put a second one in just for customer comfort. So that's the one of the things about the Kiva lockers, isn't it? So you have to actually go to the screen to tap in your code or scan your barcode or whatever, and that's going to control a locker somewhere in this very big. I mean, hopefully we've been able to include a photo of it in this video. It is a big one. It's a long one.
But the only sort of thing I'm wondering, Ian, is imagine the next gen ones where you don't have a screen and you end up having 800 or 900 cells and you have 7 or 8 people using their app. How do you work out?
How do you know
who's got the right parcel?
Exactly. And that was one of the things I wanted to ask you about. How are we going to control these? Should it be like, the game in English you call it hotter and colder, yeah? So when you're getting close, it's a kid's game, hotter, colder. And so you have to do that with your phone, and it'll vibrate when you get near the door where your parcel is. I don't know.
What happens at the moment with the Impost ones where it's contactless is they show you a picture of the cell. But that still doesn't help if you've got rush hour and you've got about 15 people at the same time and the cells could be close to each other. So there has to be some kind of fail-safe. I think, Ian, you're right, that it has to be the case that it sort of almost clicks and then you have to touch the phone next to it or something.
Finland, however, we've talked so much over the last few months about Finland, and the number of parcel lockers that Postal has been rolling out there has just gone through the roof. but they've also decided to go big.
Well,
go big or go home.
If you'll forgive the sort of saucy suggestions, but R2 really does have a big one, I have to say.
Ooh, matron. So this is, we got this one that was sent in from Eunice at Posty saying, possibly the longest that they have is naturally it's got a huge name. I can't pronounce the name of the shopping centre, but it's 23. It's not just the lockers, it's also the words that are nice and long. Imagine if Wales started doing their own parcel lockers. Locker is 23.8 metres long and has 362 doors. Their largest, with 777 doors, is in another location, but it's not on one wall. And this is a key thing I wanted to mention here, Marek, because we didn't set the rules of this competition before we launched it.
We didn't.
So, is it one continuous locker bank, or is it a whole lot of lockers in one location?
Well, to be fair, I think, if we're talking about the longest one, I think it's got to be one. And we can show the picture because I think that, R2 sent a great picture of the one that's on two walls. But I don't know what we're not democratic here. I think we agree that it's the longest one.
Yeah, so I mean, democracy, this is the last mile profits, not a democracy, everybody. But you can still comment below. We'll take your comments into account. I mean, Christoph, Deutsche Post said Munich, they've got 370 boxes in two separated lines.
Wow, sorry, Munich is way out of the running. Did you like, which one did you like most out of interest?
Well, there is another entry though, Marek, that we haven't mentioned yet.
I bet you're going to talk about the one slightly to the east of Poland.
The one slightly to the east of Poland in Ukraine. Now, this was sent in to us by Alistair from Amazon, who's one of the on the lockers team at Amazon. And this it's been set up by Omnik in Ukraine, in Kiev to be precise. 1,182 locker doors in one location. Now, this apparently has scored the gong from the Guinness World Records for the the most electronic locking up parcel lockers in a single venue. However, it's not all one bank. It's lots of little banks. The only
thing I would say is, do we allow this? Because it's not exactly in a line. Yeah. I mean, normally the Ukrainians would have it, and they would be, my word, they would have the longest one. But it's bent.
The lockers, that's what we're talking about here. The lockers are in curves. So I'll put a photo up here so you can see they're in separate little curves. Interesting thing about these lockers though, Marek, I don't know if you noticed this, is that the doors are transparent. So you can see what's in the locker. Isn't that an interesting little thing? I'm serious here. Yes, the doors are transparent.
So you can see pictures on them.
So you can see what's inside the locker. Isn't that an interesting thing? Comment below, everybody. Is this something that we could seriously consider for the future of lockers? Because obviously there's a safety consideration. Do you want people to know what's in the locker? Is that locker door as sturdy as a metal door? Because, well, all the other locker doors are metal, aren't they, Mark? I don't think anybody's making parcel lockers out of wood, are they? Or plastic?
Oh, actually, you will be surprised. Some of the indoor lockers actually did, at least until recently, have wooden frames.
Interesting.
So, Mr. Kerr, you see, you'll be surprised.
I'm often surprised.
Ecological.
I'd say so. Now, Marek, we've gone way over time, which means we have to wrap things up. But comment below, everybody. Let us know. What do you think? What's the best, or should be longest? Is it the number of doors? Comment below. Because next time they're going to do the last mile laughs, we're going to do festive vehicles. Check below in the comments for what the next last mile laughs will be. Marek, thanks for being part of the special video today.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, everyone.